Have you ever stopped to wonder why some people over 70 seem to glow with an unmistakable energy, happiness radiating from their smiles, purpose twinkling in their eyes? It's not just a stroke of luck or a gift bestowed upon a fortunate few. No, there's something deeper at work here. Specific, intentional habits that weave joy and meaning into their days like threads in a vibrant tapestry. These are the secrets of the happiest seniors. And the best part? You don't have to wait decades to unlock them. You can start today, right now, and watch as your life begins to shift, your mindset lifting, your relationships blooming, your sense of well-being growing stronger with every step. Imagine breaking free from the monotony of a stale routine or rediscovering the spark of joy you thought had faded. Stick with me, because we're about to explore 6 daily habits that happy people over 70 swear by. Simple, yet transformative practices that might just change everything. By the end, you'll see that happiness isn't a fleeting visitor that knocks on your door by chance. It's a garden you cultivate, one small, deliberate habit at a time. And who knows, you might already be tending to a few of these seeds yourself. Congratulations if you are. But even so, there could be surprises waiting to inspire you. Let's dive in and uncover the blueprint for a life brimming with fulfillment. Habit 1. They start the day with purpose. Picture this. The soft golden light of dawn spills through the window, the world stirring awake with a quiet hum. For the happiest seniors, this isn't just another morning to stumble through. It's an invitation. They don't drift aimlessly into the day, letting time slip through their fingers like sand. Instead, they greet it with intention, a spark of purpose that sets their hearts alight. Maybe it's stepping outside to tend to a garden where the scent of damp earth and blooming roses fills the air, or brewing a warm cup of coffee while the newspaper crinkles under their fingertips, its stories sparking curiosity. Perhaps it's picking up the phone to call a loved one, their voice a lifeline of connection across miles. Whatever it is, this small act becomes their anchor, a reason to rise that keeps their mind engaged and their spirit fulfilled. Science backs this up. Researchers have discovered that seniors with a strong sense of purpose don't just feel better, they live longer, sidestep stress more gracefully, and keep their minds sharp as a tack. It's as if the body listens when the soul says, "I've got something worth doing today." Think back to your younger years. Your days were packed with schedules, responsibilities, a rhythm that propelled you forward. Retirement can strip away that structure, leaving a void where purpose once stood. But the happiest seniors? They don't let that void linger. They craft their own rhythm, volunteering at a local shelter, joining a book club where lively debates fill the room, or setting a modest goal like taking a walk to soak in the chatter of birds and the rustle of leaves. It's not about a packed agenda. It's about a single thread of excitement woven into the fabric of their morning. Take Frank, for instance. At 74, he's a silver-haired man with a gentle laugh and hands that still carry the calluses of a life well lived. Every morning, he sits at his weathered kitchen table, a steaming mug of tea beside him, and opens his journal. It's a habit he picked up in his 60s, after his wife encouraged him to put his thoughts on paper. Now, he scribbles down 3 things he's grateful for: the warmth of the sun, the the sound of his grandson's giggle from a call the day before, the taste of homemade bread. Then he sets a small goal. Today I'll walk to the park and sketch the old oak tree. Or I'll call my sister and ask about her garden. Sometimes he jots down a tidbit he learned, like how honeybees dance to communicate, and smiles at the wonder of it. This ritual isn't grand, but it gives Frank a scaffolding for his day, a sense of progress that keeps him tethered to life even in the quiet of retirement. For Frank, and seniors like him, purpose isn't about changing the world. It's about lighting up their corner of it, one morning at a time. Habit 2. They stay physically active every day now. Imagine the creak of a porch door swinging open, the crisp morning air brushing against your skin as you step outside. For happy seniors over 70, movement isn't a chore. It's a celebration of what their bodies can still do. They don't chase after marathons or gym trophies. They embrace the gentle, steady rhythm of daily activity. It might be a walk around the neighborhood, where the crunch of gravel underfoot keeps time with their thoughts, or a few minutes of stretching in the living room, sunlight streaming through the curtains as their joints loosen with each reach. They know that movement isn't just about fitness, it's about freedom. It keeps their bodies limber, their hearts pumping, their minds clear. Studies paint a vivid picture. Seniors who stay active report less pain, stronger hearts, and a brighter outlook. Depression's shadow held at bay by the simple act of moving. It's not about intensity, it's about consistency. A daily habit of motion wards off stiffness, steadies balance, and lowers the risk of a fall that could steal their independence. And the beauty of it? It doesn't have to feel like work. Picture a kitchen alive with music. Ella Fitzgerald's voice swinging through the air as a senior twirls in a spontaneous dance, laughter bubbling up, or a backyard where grandkids chase a ball, their grandfather joining in with a playful shuffle. Even kneeling in a garden, hands in the soil as flowers take root, counts as movement. For these seniors, activity weaves itself into the fabric of their days as natural as breathing. Meet Barbara, a 78-year-old with a crown of white curls and a stride that still carries the confidence of her youth. Every morning, rain or shine, she laces up her worn sneakers and walks with her neighbor Doris along a winding path near their homes. The routine started years ago as a casual chat over the fence, but it's grown into something sacred. They pass the old maple tree with its gnarled branches, swap stories about their kids, and pause to watch a squirrel dart across the grass. For Barbara, it's not just exercise. It's the fresh bite of the breeze, the warmth of friendship, the quiet triumph of feeling strong. Her knees might creak a little more these days, but that daily walk keeps her standing tall, independent, and brimming with energy. When her body moves, her mind dances along, and that's a secret she'll carry well into her 80s. Habit 3. They prioritize meaningful social connections. Loneliness can creep in like a fog, silent and heavy, especially after 70. Friends move away, family scatters, and the chatter of daily life fades into a hush. But the happiest seniors don't let that fog settle. They chase it away with the warmth of connection. They're the ones picking up the phone to hear a familiar voice, meeting a friend for tea at a cozy cafe where the clink of cups mingles with laughter, or gathering with loved ones to share stories around a worn dining table. They understand that relationships aren't just nice to have, they're vital, a lifeline that keeps their hearts beating strong and their spirits soaring. Research underscores this truth with stark clarity. Isolation isn't just a feeling, it's a thief. It raises the risk of heart disease, dims cognitive clarity, and even shortens lives. But the happiest seniors fight back. They seek out conversations that matter, deep, soul-nourishing exchanges that go beyond small talk. They join community groups where new friendships blossom over shared interests, or they bridge the miles with technology, their faces lighting up a screen as they chat with far-flung grandchildren. Loneliness doesn't stand a chance against their resolve to stay woven into the lives of others. Consider Richard, an 82-year-old with kind eyes and a voice that still carries the resonance of his days as a teacher. A few years ago, his wife passed, and the house they'd filled with decades of memories grew unbearably quiet. The silence pressed in, threatening to swallow him whole, but Richard refused to let it win. One day, he dusted off an old chess set, a gift from his father, and joined a local club he'd read about in the paper. At first, he sat quietly at the edge of the room, watching players slide pawns and rooks across the board. Then someone waved him over, and soon he was trading strategies and stories over checkered squares. Now, every Tuesday, he's there, the clack of chess pieces, a soundtrack to new friendships. Those weekly gatherings give him something to anticipate, a tether to the world that keeps his mind sharp and his heart full. For Richard and seniors like him, connection isn't just about filling time. It's about filling life with joy, purpose, and belonging. Habit 4. They keep their minds active. Every day, imagine a mind like a garden. Left untended, it grows wild and tangled, but with care, it flourishes, vibrant and alive. The happiest seniors over 70 know this instinctively. They don't let their brains idle, assuming age will inevitably dim their sharpness. Instead, they nurture their intellect with the same devotion they give their bodies, treating it as a muscle that thrives on challenge. Every day, they seek out something to spark their curiosity. A book whose pages whisper tales of distant lands, a puzzle that teases their logic with its twists, or a new skill that beckons them to step beyond the familiar. For them, mental stagnation isn't an option. It's an invitation to explore, to grow, to marvel at the world's endless wonders. Science shines a spotlight on this habit's power. Studies reveal that seniors who regularly engage in mentally stimulating activities lower their risk of cognitive decline and dementia, their minds staying nimble even as the years pile on. But it's more than just preservation. It's joy. The happiest seniors are fueled by curiosity, a childlike eagerness to ask, "What if?" or "How does this work?" They might dive into a history tome, tracing the footsteps of forgotten empires, or pick up a guitar, their fingers fumbling over strings until a melody emerges. It's not about perfection. It's about the thrill of discovery, the quiet pride of learning something new when the world might assume they've seen it all. Take Helen, a 78-year-old with a cascade of silver hair and a laugh that fills a room. She spent decades as a school teacher, shaping young minds with patience and grace. But when retirement came, she refused to let her own mind rest. The TV could have become her companion, its drone a lullaby to idle days. But Helen had other plans. One rainy afternoon, she unearthed a set of paints from a dusty closet, a relic of a long-ago hobby, and set up an easel by the window. Her first strokes were clumsy, colors bleeding into a muddy mess, but she persisted. Week by week, her canvases transformed, swirling blues of a stormy sea, the soft pinks of a dawn sky. More than the art itself, it was the process that lit her up. The focus, the experimentation, the small victories of a brushstroke just right. Now, her walls bloom with her creations, and her days hum with purpose. Whether it's painting, puzzling over a crossword, or debating philosophy with a friend, Helen's mind dances through her 70s, proving that curiosity doesn't fade, it deepens. Habit 5. They build and nurture meaningful relationships. Picture a life stripped of connection. Days stretching out in solitude, the silence broken only by the tick of a clock. For many as they age, this becomes a creeping reality. Friends drift away, loved ones pass, and the world feels like it's spinning on without them. But the happiest seniors over 70 don't surrender to that tide. They reach out, their hands steady with resolve, and pull the threads of relationships tight around them. They know that human connection isn't a luxury, it's the heartbeat of happiness. These aren't fleeting chats about the weather, they're deep, soul-warming bonds, laughter shared over a cup of tea, memories swapped like treasures, the comfort of knowing someone sees them, truly sees them. The evidence is undeniable. Seniors with robust social ties live longer, their spirits buoyed against depression, their minds sharper for the company they keep. It's not just about staving off loneliness, it's about thriving. Happy seniors don't wait for the phone to ring, they dial it. They nurture old friendships with letters penned in careful cursive, spend afternoons with family swapping stories of the past, and even forge new bonds well into their later years. They join clubs, attend gatherings, or simply sit on a park bench with a smile, inviting the world in. These connections aren't shallow, they're roots, grounding them in a sense of belonging that no amount of time can erode. Meet Frank again. Not the journaling Frank from earlier, but another, a 74-year-old widower with a quiet strength and a mop of grey hair that refuses to stay combed. When his wife of 45 years passed, the emptiness threatened to engulf him. The house echoed with her absence, the chair she loved, the garden she tended, but Frank chose to fight the silence. He reached out to old college buddies, their voices crackling over the line with shared nostalgia, and then took a leap. He joined a hiking group for seniors. At first, he lagged behind, unsure if his creaky knees could keep up with the chatter and crunch of boots on the trail. But soon, faces became familiar. There was Tom, who loved birdwatching, and Lila, whose dry humor made every hill bearable. Now, Frank has a crew, a band of companions who fill his weekends with adventure and his heart with laughter. He's not just active, he's alive, surrounded by people who remind him that loss isn't the end of connection. It's a call to build anew. Habit 6. They stay engaged in life with a sense of purpose. For the happiest seniors, 70 isn't a finish line, it's a starting gate. They refuse to buy into the lie that age means retreat, that their best days are behind them. Instead, they wake each morning with a fire in their chest, a purpose that pulls them forward like a compass needle pointing true north. It might be a hobby that sets their hands to work, a volunteer role that ripples through their community, or a personal project that whispers, "You're not done yet." They stay engaged, not just to fill time, but to fill their lives with meaning. Retirement isn't a signal to fade. It's an open field, and they run into it with arms wide. Studies echo their wisdom. Seniors with purpose don't just survive, they flourish. They live longer, their bodies stronger, their minds clearer, their spirits unbowed. It's not about busyness for the sake of motion. It's about feeling needed, valuable, alive. They might mentor a teenager struggling with math, their patience a bridge across generations, or care for a scruffy dog whose wagging tail greets them each dawn. Some write memoirs, their pens tracing the arcs of lives well lived, while others launch tiny ventures, a knitting business, a garden stand. The key is engagement, staying tethered to something that matters, something that makes the morning worth meeting. Take Margaret, a 76-year-old with a crown of chestnut hair streaked with silver and eyes that gleam with mischief. Decades ago, she set aside her love of painting to raise a family, her brushes gathering dust as diapers and school runs took over. But at 76, with her children grown and the house quieter, she reclaimed that passion. She started small, an old canvas, a few tubes of paint, squeezed out with trembling excitement. Soon, her living room became a studio, the air thick with the scent of turpentine and possibility. Then came the leap. She began teaching a class at the community center, guiding shaky hands through their first strokes. It's not about fame or fortune. Her paintings hang in friends' homes, not galleries, but about the joy of creation, the thrill of sharing. Margaret's days pulse with purpose, her laughter ringing out as she wipes paint from her apron. Aging for her isn't an end, it's a canvas, and she's still adding colors. Final thoughts. Crafting happiness, one day at a time. Let's pause and breathe in what we've uncovered. If you're over 70, or even if you're not, these 6 habits are more than a list. They're a foundation, a way to build a life that hums with happiness, energy, and fulfillment. Starting the day with purpose, moving your body with joy, weaving a web of meaningful connections, keeping your mind sharp, nurturing relationships, and staying engaged with a purpose that lights you up. These are the threads that the happiest seniors weave into their golden years. They don't sit back, waiting for joy to find them like a lost letter in the mail. They create it, day by day, with hands that might tremble, but hearts that beat strong. Aging isn't a slow fade into the background. It's a chance to grow in new directions, to connect more deeply, to savor the richness of every moment. The happiest seniors know this in their bones. Each sunrise is a gift, another opportunity to laugh, to learn, to love. They don't let a number define their worth. They define it themselves, through what they do, what they dream, and how they lift the world around them. So, what about you? Which of these habits struck a chord in your soul? Which do you already live and which are calling you to begin? Maybe it's the quiet purpose of a morning ritual, or the courage to reach out and mend a frayed connection. Whatever it is, take it, hold it close, and let it guide you. Happiness isn't out there, waiting. It's in your hands, ready to be shaped. Thank you for walking this path with me today. Share your thoughts. What moved you? What will you carry forward? Your voice matters, and I'd love to hear it.